We do have a title race in the Bundesliga with Bayern Munich dropping points recently. Borussia Dortmund have messed up this season, but somehow find themselves with a slight advantage over Bayern Munich right now. And I see their fixtures being very favorable. So many people out there obviously will question me, what do you think is going to happen? I'm saying Borussia Dortmund win every single game between now and the end of the season and end up German champions. Do you agree, Francesco, or do you think Bayern will come back?
I'd love to see that, to be honest, but nothing against Bayern. But to see some sort of change and Dortmund winning the title would be absolutely amazing. So I hope that it happens. To be honest, I'm really a big fan of Union Berlin as well. To be honest, so I really like the team. I've been there. I lived in Berlin actually, so I remember the atmosphere at the stadium. The Altsforster is one of the best stadiums around. The atmosphere there is absolutely crazy. So I really happy to see them. Actually, I remember when they were promoted to the Bundesliga, the feeling around was that they could stay 1-2 years in the Bundesliga and then going relegated again. And they're improving, signing good players as well. So I think it's really impressive what they've done. And for the title race, I think Dortmund have a really chance and will be a big failure for Bayern, an incredible failure, especially after they decided to replace Thomas Tuchel to sack Nagelsmann and replace him with Thomas Tuchel. There was a big risk, huge risk, and there might be big consequences at the club as well for this decision.
Yeah, Ian and Francesco, I love that you're saying that there's something wrong at Bayern. Ian, you've been the first one, and gosh, I feel like each week from here on out to the end of the Bundesliga campaign, if Dortmund wins, we'll have to apologize to you for when you said there was something wrong at Bayern. Doesn't happen much on House of Champions, I'll tell you that. But you have Bayern losing by 5 points. What are you seeing from Bayern Munich that makes you think that there's more points to be dropped?
Okay, let me point it out for you. And Francesco made a great point right there. When you replace a manager and a new one comes in, you expect sort of a rejuvenated performance. You would expect some sort of pickup of performance, maybe success, maybe immediate confidence within the group. Let's put it into perspective. When Thomas Tuchel came back to this club, Bayern Munich were in the quarterfinal of a German Cup, they were in the quarterfinal of a Champions League, and they were top of the Bundesliga. 7 games he's been in charge of. They are now no longer top of the Bundesliga. They are out of the German Cup and they're out of the Champions League. So that tells me that something is clearly taking its time for Tuchel to either implement his ideas. The players are going their own way. Obviously, we know that within the executive group, there are some rumors that maybe Oliver Kahn is on a very hot seat right now. Maybe Francesco knows a bit more than me about that. But, at Bayern Munich, not everything is great. And it seems to me the culture is the problem right now. You don't have Lewandowski that you can rely on to win you those points. You don't have that player anymore. Chupandowski or Choupo-Moting, like everybody would know his name by. He's not the answer for them. You just don't have that goal scorer anymore that you can rely on. Sané, inconsistent but good. Goretzka, inconsistent but good. Kimmich, inconsistent but good. You can say Gnabry, the same. And obviously Mane, very inconsistent this season. Consistency is a big problem for Bayern Munich. So I see them dropping more points between now and the end of the season. And let's not forget, Dortmund have already effed up. All right. They've already had this game where they've got, oh my God, what did we do? We lost the title. Bayern are now top again. Now Bayern give you a chance with 5 games to go. I don't see it. I just don't see it. Francesco, you agree with me or you think it's...
I agree 100% with what you're saying. And also wanted to add that it's been a bit underrated, the impact that Karl-Heinz Rummenigge had at the club in the past 20 years, I think. Since he left, something has changed at the club. Of course, people have changed because we have Oliver Kahn right now. We have Salihamidzic with much more power as a sport director. We don't have Holness. We have Herbert Hainer as president.
Yep.
But the impact that Rummenigge had, the influence that he had at the club was fundamental, was huge. And replacing a figure like Rummenigge is not easy at all because legends are not just by the name, also by the facts and what they brought to the club. Rummenigge was a key figure, had a key role at Bayern in the past decades. So it's not easy to change directors when you change the coaches and players. It's not the same thing. Change a director and not a director like others. club legend, the icon of the club, the one who transformed the club and made him one of the best clubs in the world, because Rummenigge was one of the mastermind behind the success of Bayern over the past 20 years. So I think it's underrated what has changed at Bayern at high levels in the past 2 years. And then I, of course, agree with you about all the players, coaches, what they've done this season, which was, of course, not good. But I think it also comes from this kind of problem.
Yeah, and with so much talk about Bayern Munich, it can be easy to forget that there's good things happening and parity happening in this Bundesliga top 4 race. Ian, you put Union Berlin and Freiburg. I'm so happy that you did that. Big fans of both of these teams. I think the German Bundesliga need teams like that to hold the likes of Leverkusen and RB Leipzig accountable. I'm picking Freiburg, said it here first. I'm picking Freiburg to win the Pokal and also get in the top 4. So love that you did that.
Shout out for you right there as well. Couple of quick points there. On you, Francesco. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge has been rumored to potentially be coming back to Bayern Munich if they do decide to make this change with Oliver Kahn going out. I'm hearing that he's itching to get back in because he's probably at home smashing windows, waiting, to get an opportunity to correct the ship right now. And Salihamidzic, I played against Salihamidzic when he was at Bayern back in the day. Never in a million years did I think this guy would be a sporting director. Crazy guy, just an absolute lunatic. And you thought, what? It doesn't make any sense. He's done a good job, but just not the right fit. Oliver Kahn, we all know, a little bit crazy. Is he as good a businessman as he was a goalkeeper, and a goalkeeper who liked to wind people up? And my final thought, as producer Des is pushing me along here, Union Berlin. Francesco, I love that you lived in Berlin. I played against Union Berlin at the old Alten Försterei Stadium, and I had my first ever female referee, Bibiana Steinhaus. She was the referee back in 2002. It was the first game I played, and I was playing for Hamburg under 23 team against Union Berlin in the German 3rd division. Think of how things change so quickly. Union Berlin in Europe, Hamburg in the 2nd division. Their first team, forget about the 23s. It's absolutely crazy how football...
Red Bull Leipzig didn't even exist when you played.
No, it didn't, yeah.
Red Bull didn't exist. Never mind Leipzig.